explainer. I have got to tell you, I am absolutely buzzing to be with you right now because the 2026 FIFA World Cup has completely exploded into life. We are officially deep into the knockout stages. And man, the sheer drama, the incredibly high stakes, and just the absolute chaos of the round of 32. It's given us some of the wildest moments in recent sports memory. So grab a seat because we're going to break this all down for you today, step by step. Seriously though, what actually happens when football giants fall and brand new legends are born? Because, well, that is exactly what we are witnessing right in front of our eyes. The totally unpredictable nature of this tournament has completely torn up the script. We are seeing massive heavyweights sent packing, historic underdog miracles, and individual performances that are literally rewriting the record books as we speak. Honestly, if you thought the group stage was intense, you haven't seen anything yet. All right, let's kick things off by looking at the reality of this knockout stage. The margin for error here is now officially 0. Remember, we started with 48 teams, narrowed it all down to 32 for this first knockout round, and every single squad left is fighting for just one thing, that coveted spot in the July 19th final at MetLife Stadium in New Jersey. And the pressure? It is completely unforgiving. You know the drill. But there are no more points for a draw here. Matches have got to be played to a finish. You get your standard 90 minutes of regulation play. If it's a deadlock after that, we go to 30 grueling minutes of extra time. And if, somehow, the teams are still tied, it all comes down to the most nerve-wracking spectacle in all of sports, the sudden death penalty shootout. Just think about it. One single kick can make you a national hero, or it can haunt you for the rest of your life. Which brings us perfectly to our next point, the ultimate underdog shock. A true David versus Goliath scenario. Let's talk about Paraguay and Germany. 1-1 at the end of extra time. Germany, an absolute European powerhouse, a team you just expect to see making a deep run, completely stunned by the South American underdogs. After an insanely nail-biting shootout up in Boston, Paraguay actually sent the Germans packing. It is without a doubt the defining upset of the tournament so far. I mean, nobody saw this coming. People are already hailing this as the biggest World Cup win in Paraguay's history. And honestly, they're right. For a nation that really hasn't made a deep run since they reached the quarterfinals back in 2010, the sheer magnitude of knocking out a giant like Germany, it just cannot be overstated. They didn't just win a football game, they literally created a moment of national immortality. Okay, but from one extreme to the other, let's shift gears and look at France's record-breaking brilliance. They look like an absolute unstoppable force right now. 18! I need everyone to just pause for a second and appreciate what this number actually means. Kylian Mbappé has just scored his 18th World Cup goal in only his 18th World Cup game. With that phenomenal brace he scored against Sweden, he has officially tied the legendary Lionel Messi for the tournament's active scoring lead. And get this, he's only one goal behind Messi's all-time career World Cup record of 19 goals. It is a historic, jaw-dropping achievement. And the rest of the team is right there with him. France absolutely dismantled Sweden 3-0, completely unbothered by the blazing 90-degree heat in New Jersey. To put their dominance into perspective, they have outscored their opponents 13-2 in this tournament. They're actually the first nation in history to score 3 or more goals in 5 consecutive World Cup matches. Plus, Mbappé now holds the standalone record for knockout round goals with 10, passing absolute legends of the game like Ronaldo and Leonidas. So yeah, they aren't just winning, they are putting on an absolute masterclass out there. But here's the scary part. The French attack isn't just about Mbappé. Listen to what French icon Thierry Henry had to say. He said Olise is a freak. He's on another planet. He's talking about the 24-year-old Bayern Munich star Michael Olise. Olise provided 2 absolutely gorgeous assists against Sweden and very nearly scored the goal of the tournament with a bicycle kick that rattled off the post. He already has 5 assists in this tournament. That's the most by any player in a single World Cup since Germany's Thomas Hessler way back in 1994. Henry even went as far as to say Olise is France's most important player right now. Let that sink in. Now, even in a 3-0 defeat, heroes are made on the pitch. I think we really need to highlight the valiant effort on the other side of that French masterclass. You gotta feel for Jacob Waddell Zetterstorm. He's a 27-year-old Swedish goalkeeper who plays his club football in the English second tier for Derby County. And he was suddenly thrust into this massive spotlight against arguably the most frightening attack in the entire world. Honestly, without Zetterstrom, this game could have been a historic blowout. The guy showed incredible grit, He made 5 absolutely crucial saves in the first half alone. He was fearlessly rushing off his line to deny early golden chances from both Mbappé and Ousmane Dembélé. He heroically managed to keep the scoreline to just 1-0 at halftime, while his team was under absolute siege. It's just a really powerful reminder that incredible individual performances happen on both sides of the ball, win or lose. Moving on, let's take a look around the rest of the bracket at some of the clutch goals and star players that gave us these heart-stopping moments. Because the late-game drama was just unbelievable everywhere you looked. Look at this. Brazil barely avoids extra time with Japan, thanks to Gabriel Martinelli just smashing home a winner in the 96th minute of stoppage time. Insane. Then you have Canada securing their first ever World Cup knockout win with a 90th minute dagger from Steven Eustachio to edge past South Africa 1-0. Norway manages to outlast super gritty Ivory Coast side with an 85th minute clincher. And how about Mexico? They finally bury a 4-decade knockout curse by defeating Ecuador 2-0. It was literally just clutch, last-gasp magic across the board. I want to slow down for just a quick second, though, to look at the man who saved Norway, Erling Haaland. His 85th minute goal didn't just win them the game. It actually made him the fastest player ever to reach 60 international goals. He did it in just 53 matches. I mean, he is a 6'4" marauding hulk of a striker, and he is coming into this next round completely on fire. So where do we go from here? Let's take a quick look ahead at the round of 16 because we have got some absolute blockbusters lined up. Get your calendars out, folks. On July 4th, Canada's historic run is going to meet an incredibly dangerous Morocco side that just survived a crazy penalty shootout of their own against the Netherlands. That very same day, we've got Paraguay stepping into the ring with France. And then circle July 5th at MetLife Stadium, because it is a massive heavyweight clash. The 5-time champions Brazil taking on Norway and the unstoppable force that is Erling Haaland. But the one that really stands out to me, that incredible contrast for the July 4th showdown in Philadelphia. On one side, you have Paraguay, the ultimate underdog, riding this magical wave of momentum from their historic penalty shootout miracle against Germany. And on the exact opposite side, you have France, an unstoppable, record-breaking offensive machine featuring Mbappé and Olise, who are both operating at the absolute peak of their powers. It is literally the textbook definition of David versus Goliath. And that really leaves us with this final, thought-provoking question as we look ahead to the rest of the matches. Will the heavyweights like France and Brazil just march on unimpeded to the final? Or is this tournament's underdog magic only just beginning? We're only a few games away from crowning a world champion, and if this round of 32 taught us anything at all, it's that absolutely anything can happen. Thank you so much for joining me for today's explainer. Keep your eyes glued to the pitch, and I will see you all next time.